Hello, friends. Glenda Mollett here, and welcome to my craft room today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located on the west coast of Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada, in the rain today. And today I am making a card that I received in a swap a couple of years ago from Carolyn Watt. Now, she sometimes watches, so if you are watching, oops, that's not what I want. Sorry, I'm trying to get this shared to my group here. If you are watching, Carolyn, thank you so much for your beautiful card, and I will show it to you in one moment. There we are. All right. Hello, Marcia. Okay, there we go. I got everything playing together nicely. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you. I appreciate it. If you're watching on my YouTube, hit that subscribe button that's like down over. Oh, there it is. It's down there. Hi, Janet. Oh my gosh, it's been one of those days, and I think I'm getting sick. Oh, that's not a good thing. My sister arrived on time. Well, she was an hour late, but she arrived. So we just got finished our dinner. So here's the card we're going to make tonight. Now this has got a lot of die cutting in it. Hi, Connie. Yes, Marcia says, hello, all happy creative stampers. There, I was just getting the recipe off, so I know what I'm talking about. So every once in a while on Vancouver Island, demonstrators do a swap. And this one, I have no idea how long ago I got this card, but I've been hanging on to it because I really wanted to make it. Because isn't it gorgeous? Look at that. Just look at this. So it's really cool that most of this stuff is still current. The only thing that I can't use because I don't have them, well, they're in my BOGO sale, is the Stitch Rectangles dies. So I got out the Deckled Rectangle dies. And we're going to use those tonight instead. So get my sleeves rolled up here and we will get busy. My next class is now available for registration. It's the Merriest Trees Class. There is 3 cards in the class, and if you get the monthly tutorial subscription, there we are. That's card number 4. And I concentrated on using the gorgeous new specialty papers in the mini catalog. So if you're interested in this, get a hold of me. I don't think I put the link in I should have put it in the description of the video, and I didn't do that. So just let me go and get the link for Merriest Trees Class to register, and I will just put it right in the comments here. There we go. So and I'll put it in the description of the video. So if you're watching the replay or you're catching it on YouTube, the link will be there. Registration is open now until November the 1st, so you've got like 30 days to register for it. Okay, so I did a lot of die cutting on this card because there's a lot of die cutting and I didn't want to be here forever tonight. So it is soft sea foam and white and vellum. This is absolutely gorgeous, this card. If you like this card, make sure you hit that heart button, the heart emoji. See all the little pieces? I've already cut them out and I put adhesive sheet on them so they're easy to put together. Okay, so we have a card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. Then we have 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. Now, Carolyn did stamp a sentiment on the inside of hers, but I'm going to stamp something. I don't know what. We'll find out what I put up there. And then there is a piece of soft sea foam that's 5 1/4 by 4 with adhesive sheet on the back of it. Hi, Carmen. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. Oh my, we've been invaded by James. You're watching me on your mom's phone. Uh-oh. Okay, so I did a bunch of die cuts on this before we started, and I'll just be able to put this right onto the card because it has adhesive sheet. And then I had a piece of basic white that was 5 1/4 by 4. I put adhesive sheet on the back of it, and then I die cut all those pieces. And you can see I have a lot left over, so you don't really need 5 1/4 by 4. You could get away with 3 by 4 1/4. And then I had a piece of vellum that was 2 by 4, and I cut vellum pieces. You might be hearing a lot of thumping happening because the grandchildren are here, and apparently they're playing in the hallway outside my room. Really? And then a piece of basic white. This one is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is what I'm going to do the deckled rectangle out of. And then last but not least, a piece that is a 1/2 by 3 1/2 to do the sentiment. So I've got all those pieces done. All I have to do is emboss this, and then we can start, or die cut and then emboss, because there's time worn type embossing folder on the background. Can you see it there? And I've got my Wink of Stella. She didn't put Wink of Stella on, but I brought mine. So the ink I'm going to be using is Soft Sea Foam. And if you notice on her sentiment there, she did some sponging. So I need to know, do you want me to sponge? Now I don't have that stitch rectangle die to do that. I've got something else. So I'm going to need to know if you want me to sponge it or not. Uses the Pansy Patch stamp set to put a pansy on the inside. And I don't know which pansy I'll put in there. I didn't even get, probably this one. I didn't even get blocks out. Oh my gosh. The pansy dies. So this is what I used. I've already done all the die cutting. So there's the flowers, then there's the bud part. These are the centers of the flowers. Sentiment is from Something Fancy. Then I'm going to use this die in the Gorgeously Made dies for the sentiment. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Pat. Oh, everybody wants me to sponge. And then the deckled rectangle dies and time worn type, and finish it off with some iridescent rhinestones. Okay, so first step is to die cut. So when you are embossing something that you have die cut, you always die cut first so you don't squish the embossing. Now, do I want the full size one? Yes, I do. So this is the biggest of the deckled rectangle dies, and I'm just going to run that through my machine. I don't even have my chair here tonight because we need the chair out in the dining room for all of the people. So I have this table, and it's a wiggly table, and I don't really like it, but it's all I have, so I'm going to have to make do. So how was your weekend? Did you guys do anything exciting? I had a team fun event on Saturday, and we got to stamp together, and some of our team members joined us virtually. And then last night we had our monthly stamping and recognition night. So I've been busy with my teamies, and I'm trying to get ready to go away camping. I'm sure it will happen. Tomorrow is a write-off day because my sister is now here, and we're going to be doing stuff, if it's not pouring rain. Nobody did anything exciting on the weekend? Come on, I'm sure you did. Okay, I'm going to emboss this now with time worn type. Have to switch my machine over. This is a 3D thick one, so it just uses number 1 and the adapter plate number 4. Run that through. Thump, thump, thump. Oh, Connie did a 3-day card summit. Oh, that sounds interesting, Connie. Marcia's still recovering from shoulder surgery, and she can't do. Oh, Connie. Or Marcia, I hope you're feeling better soon. Hello, Holly. Okay, I have die cut that. So this is going to go onto the soft seafoam flat. We had our rainy season started today, and we had a lot of rain, and then we're going to have a lot of rain for 2 days. And then we're going to have a few days of sunshine when we start our camping trip. And then apparently we're getting what they now call an atmospheric river. I've never heard of atmospheric river before, but it used to be called torrential downpour when I was a kid, but now they've got this funky name for it. Okay. So apparently this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, not 5 1/4 by 4. Oh, Connie's 3 days was long. I bet it was. Was it all day for 3 days, Connie? Carmen spent Saturday afternoon here stamping with us. That's right. Oh, Norwegian supper. Oh, man, I bet that was good. That was Carmen. Kathy spent the weekend traveling back and forth to the High River Ramada card making with 9 other paper crafts. Oh, nice. It sounds like everybody's starting to get together again, which is wonderful. I was just telling my family today, I'm done with COVID. It's not going to stop me from, it robbed us of 2.5 years and it's not doing it anymore. Okay, so I cut out 2 of these out of vellum, and now I'm going to put the little decoration around the edge of these. And this is in basic white, and I put adhesive sheet on there so it will stick, if hopefully to more than just my finger. All right, I'm going to stick this on here like this. There's one. And I'll find the other one because I did do 2. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Oh my gosh, Connie, that is a long day, especially doing 3 days in a row. Holy Aunt Jemima. So was it local to you in Sparks? Was it in person or was it online? Your 3-day card summit thing. That's a long few days. Holy man. All right, so there's those 2. Now we have 4 of these. These are the extra petals that go around the top. And I'm going to put these little decoration pieces on there. And these are also in basic white. And they line up right with the very edge, so they're really easy to put on. The time-consuming part of this card is doing all the die cutting. And can you imagine? I think we had like 17 cards we had to make for this swap, if I remember correctly. And Carolyn did die cutting for all 17 cards. I appreciate it because it is a gorgeous card. It's hard to see white on white. Oh, I'm sorry. Stampers from around the world, not a Stamping Up product, just Stampers and Mixed Media. Oh, so it was virtual then. That's cool. Mixed media. Yeah, there's quite a few people are into that mixed media thing. I don't have time in my life for anything else. I'm trying to get the or crochet, get the hat for my daughter-in-law done that's shaped like a octopus. Yeah. It's taking me a while. Okay, so now I'm going to do the leaves. So there is 3 leaves, and they've got tops and underneath. So I'll layer those. They also have adhesive sheet on. This card is a lot easier when you put adhesive sheet on it. I can't imagine trying to do this without adhesive sheet. Oof, that would be lethal. Okay, come on. Of course, it would be a lot easier, but the adhesive sheet would come off. There we are. We'll line that up. Now, you could make these 2 different colors if you want. I like this tone on tone bit. I think it's really pretty. Oh, thanks, Kathy. It is a very gorgeous card. Yeah, I'll show you the hat. Well, she better wear it because she's the one that has been bugging for 2 years not bugging, asking for 2 years to have it. So I finally caved in and said, fine, I'll knit it for you or crochet it for you. And I started it in July when we went to Quesnel. And I've been sort of working on it ever since, but not really because I haven't really had time. So I'm taking it with me when we go camping. And I'll get more done while I'm camping. So this is the bud part. And it's white over vellum. And then this, I'm going to put it on there, but I'm not going to take the liner off the stem part. Maybe if I can get the liner off without ripping the stem. There we are. And then this just fits over top like this. There we are. So there's the bud and the leaves and the petals. Now, I do have 2 of these, and I'm going to need a piece of stamping paper because she put a little bit of color on these. So I'm just going to grab my blending brush. I washed all my blending brushes yesterday. Excuse me. Because they were really quite dirty. I don't want to lose that. So what I did, do you ever wash your blending brushes? Oops, where did the 3rd one go? There was 3 there. Did it go? Oh yeah, one underneath my sign. Do you guys wash your blending brushes at all? So what I did was I soaked them overnight in water, and then I cleaned them under running water the next morning. And then they have to dry for about 24 hours. So this is soft seafoam I'm putting on here. Just to give it a little bit of color. I guess she didn't want it as dark as the soft seafoam cardstock, which is fine. This works. This works. Okay. Now, these, I'm going to get some adhesive on these. I need my silicone mat. And we're going to put adhesive right on the very tip of them so that they can slide underneath the big part. Okay, so then these fit under here like that. See how they fit together there? There we are. And there's the pansy. Ooh, what was well seasoned, Connie? I like didn't look at your comment until just now, so I'm well past whatever you said. That was like 2 minutes ago, and I don't remember what I was nattering on about. Okay. Oh, the blending brushes. Ah, yes, blending brushes. Well, every once in a while, mine need to be cleaned because they get used in class, so they get a lot of ink on them. Okay, so now this goes in here like this. There's one, and there's two. That liner off the back there. Line it up. I actually did some loading of my trailer today too. Got the turkey out there, so I don't forget it, because I have this fear that I'm going to forget the turkey at home. Okay, so now we got these little centers to put in. They just slide right in here like this. And of course they have adhesive on them too. And it cuts 3 of them, but I only need 2, so I threw one away. And we'll just pop this in here like this. And now let's get some Winky. Put a little bit of Winky on here. Not too much. So just so it highlights it a bit. And maybe a little bit on the leaves. Because, it's Winky. Yeah, I misplaced my Winky on the weekend. I don't know what I've done with it. Yeah, I remembered, Connie. Sometimes it takes me a while to remember these things. Okay, so there's those 3, and we'll put a little bit on the bud while we're here, maybe along the edge of the bud. There we are. Okay, now we can put things together. When I find my card, there it is. Okay, now let's see. That's on dimensional, that's flat. So put one down flat. Up here like this. And I'm not going to push it down yet. This one I'm going to put up on some baby dimensionals. And if you put them in behind where the center of that flower is, then they're not going to show through. And you'll be able to slip the leaves and things in underneath because it's glued down right in the center. There we go. Okay. And of course, these have adhesive on the back of them too. So we'll just be popping these right on here. See how easy this card is when you have adhesive sheet on everything? It's kind of wonderful. And one more. Oh, stuffing. Yes, stuffing. Stuffing goes in the turkey and in a casserole, because this time I made a lot. Usually it's just in the turkey, but we have a lot of people and stuffing is a favorite of all of them. So I had to, I'm going to cut that off a little bit. I think it's too long. I had to make a lot, and I'll put some in a casserole, but in my opinion, it doesn't taste the same in a casserole as it does in the turkey because it doesn't get the flavor. So did everybody see my recipe for my stuffing? it's an old recipe handed down from my grandma to my mother, and I think it came from her grandma. I lost the sentiment. Oh well. And it has meat in it. Uh-oh. That's not wide enough. Oh no! I have a piece in here. I was doing a lot of prep this afternoon. I might just have a piece in the garbage that is big enough. Maybe this one. Because I was prepping my club cards for November this afternoon. If you're part of my club, then be aware. I didn't center that, and now I can't put it in there. Be aware that November is all about gone fishing. Okay, this might be a bit wide for this, but that's okay. So I've got one of the cards done. And then I still have 2 to go. But that probably won't happen until I get back. Yes, I put sausage meat, not sausages, but you can buy sausage meat in Canada that's in like a chub like this. And it's the meat that they put in sausages, but they don't put it in the sausage. They put like the sausage casing. And I put that in it. And I put lean ground beef. And if you don't have a husband who is allergic to onion and garlic, then you put onion and garlic in it. But, my hubby is allergic to that, so I have to use powder. So onion powder, garlic powder, and oregano, and a little bit of thyme. Not a lot of thyme, just a little bit, and salt and pepper. That's it. I add canned mushrooms to mine, but they're not necessary if you don't want to put mushrooms in it. Okay, so we got that. Now let's put some color around the edge. And then you put it all together. And I use fresh bread chunks. I cut fresh bread into cubes and not the dried breadcrumbs, because then you just got to reconstitute them anyways, right? So it takes a lot more liquid in your dressing to reconstitute it. I'm going to do around the inside too. Why not? So I start out by browning the meat, and then I cut up the bread, and I put the bread in a great big huge bowl, and then I pour the meat on top of it. And I don't season the meat while I'm cooking it. I season the meat afterwards when it's all in the bowl. Now I do need to go get a block for that flour. So you put the bread in first, and then you put the meat on top. So the sausage meat is really greasy, so we strain that. We get rid of the grease in it, the fat. We don't with the hamburger because we get lean ground beef, and I like a little bit of the fat in to add flavor. How much bread? Well, I can't tell you because it's like I used about this much ground beef. So maybe 2 pounds of ground beef and 2 pounds of sausage meat and a whole small loaf of bread and a couple of cans of mushrooms, sliced mushrooms. And then it's really hard for me to tell you how much seasoning to put in because I don't ever measure it. With my grandmother, it was always a pinch of this and a half an eggshell of that. So over the years, I know what it's supposed to taste like. So I just add the seasonings until it tastes like it's supposed to. So maybe a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper and 3 palms full of dried oregano that I do this with, and then over top of the meat. No, it's fresh bread. It's not stale bread, it's fresh bread. And then I taste it to see if it tastes all right. I'm looking for my big, there. So I just go back and forth with the seasonings until it tastes like I want it to taste like. And it's good, and everybody loves it. And now nobody else is allowed to make the stuffing for Christmas and Thanksgiving because they all want my stuffing. So I made it yesterday and I froze it so I can take it with me. Email recipe. I can't email recipe, Lena, because I don't have a recipe. I don't. I've never had a recipe for it. You can go back and watch the replay and understand why there's no recipe for it. It's just some of this and some of that, and then you do it till it tastes good. I want to add more to this one. I think this needs another couple of these gorgeous iridescent rhinestones. There we go. Ooh, it's so pretty. And hello, Lena. Thanks for joining us. Okay, there we are. The card is done. So here's Carolyn's original card and her inside. And everything is still current except for the stitch rectangles. So I used the deckled rectangles on my version. Added a bit of Wink of Stella and a couple of more rhinestones. And then in here. Thank you. It is, I agree with you. It is a beautiful card. And it's not hard to do. It's just the amount of die cutting that you have to do. Yeah. It's lovely when you get to bake and cook with your previous generations. But back then they didn't have measuring cups. So it was like a half an eggshell of this and a pinch of that. So it's really difficult when somebody says, what's the recipe for it? I don't know. Just, oh yes. And then I'll finish. So then you mix the meats all together with the mushrooms and the bread and the seasonings, and you let it sit and cool down for a couple of hours because you can't have it hot. And then I put 12 eggs in it, like put them in a bowl and scramble them and then pour them over the top of the meat and then mix it all up so that it binds it all together. Yeah, so you taste it before you put the eggs on it. Don't taste it after you put the eggs on it. Just a warning, you know. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Marcia. Thanks, Kathy. Oh, you guys are so nice. Yes, thanks, Marcia. My sister arrived. Thanks, Holly and Carmen. Yeah, my sister has arrived. She's here tomorrow, and then they leave Wednesday at noon. And I have this, and then I have a meeting at 9, a Zoom meeting at 9 tonight. And then tomorrow I'm live again tomorrow night with week 3. I'm on my YouTube channel for week 3 of the 12 weeks of Christmas at 8 o'clock. And then Wednesday, I have my Sunshine Club in the morning and club in the afternoon and the evening. So I'm not going to see much of her. But tomorrow we're going to go out for dinner and hopefully we'll get a walk in if it's not raining too hard. Oh, well, it's my sister. She was the one that, her and her hubby are the ones that Heather and I went to England with. So it's not like I haven't seen her recently. And you guys are important to me too. I warned her when she said she was coming. I warned her that I was busy. Yes, so there you go. And if you want the recipe, here it is. Take a screenshot. Thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5. Soft seafoam, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 with adhesive sheet. And cut the leaves and the stems and the flower centers out of that. Basic white is 5 1/4 by 4. And 5.5 by 4 1/4 or something to do all the die cutting. That also has adhesive sheet. Oh, no, 5.5 by 4 1/4 is for the deckled rectangle. And then another one, 5.5 by 4 1/4 with adhesive sheet to do all the flowers. The sentiment was 1 by 3.5. The vellum is 4 1/4 by 5.5, but you don't need that much. You don't need a lot of vellum. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so wonderful. So don't forget, I'm live on my YouTube channel tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. The link to my YouTube channel is in the description of this video. And make sure you subscribe and it will tell you when I go live, as well as when I upload all my videos. My sister's understanding. I mean, she's a retired veterinarian, so we would go visit her and she would be busy all the time too, because animals get sick at night just like they get sick during the day. And sometimes, she'd have surgery during the day and then she'd have to go back 3 or 4 times during the night to check on the animal to make sure it was still okay. She's family. It is what it is. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Pacific time on my YouTube channel with a fun fold Christmas card using, horse and sleigh again tomorrow night. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles. Bye for now.